fourth graders, and here's your video on your answers to today's spiral review problems. Okay? Alright, so if you haven't already put your name on your paper, please go ahead and do so now. And let's look at question number 1. Which statement is true? And the best way to work out this problem is to actually go through and work out each problem. Okay? So we know that 50 times 5 is 250. And it says it's less than whatever this equals. And 60 times 4 is 240. So the alligator is going to be eating 240, which means 240 is greater than 250. Is that true? No, that is not true. Okay? All right, let's look at 45 times 6. I'm going to break that apart into 40 times 6, which is 240, and 5 times 6, which is 30, and I know that gives me 270, and they're saying that is less than whatever 75 times 3 equals. So I'm going to break that 75 into 70 and 5, and 70 times 3 is 210, and 5 times 3 is 15, which gives me 225. So this is saying that 270 is less than 225. Is that true? No, that's not true either. All right, let's go to C. 70 times 6 is 420, and they're saying that is less than whatever 50 times 8 equals. 50 times 8 is 400. So is 420 less than 400? No, that's not true either. So let's look at D. D has a different sign. It has the equal sign. So it is saying that whatever is here must be the same answer as whatever equals here. So 40 times 4 is 160, and 80 times 2 is 160. So does 160 equal 160? Yes, so the correct answer for number 1 is D. Okay, let's go on to number 2. Which number sentence is true? We got the same thing like we had up here, but a little bit easier. All right, so again, we're going to work out each of these and see which one is true. So 16 minus 5 is 11, and they say that's greater than whatever 4 plus 8 equals. And 4 plus 8 equals 12. So is 11 bigger than 12? No. All right, let's do this one. 26 minus 3 is 23, and they say that's less than whatever 30 minus 5 equals. So what is 30 minus 5? That is 25. So is 23 smaller than 25? Yes, it is. But let's keep going. Let's just make sure that we are on the right track. 26 minus 9 is 17 equals 26 plus 9. Now we subtracted here those numbers, but here we're adding. So can those be equal? No, we know that automatically. Okay, let's look at this one at D. 19 minus 4 is 15. And then look what we have, 26, which is already bigger than 15, and we're adding 9 more to it. So we can see that D doesn't make any sense either. So for question 2, the answer is B. Okay, let's go to the next page. Question number 3. Okay? Question number 3. It says a teacher asked 4 students to represent the number 532 using hundreds, tens, and ones. The table shows the response of each student. We have Dale, Isabella, Melissa, and Norm, and this is what they wrote. Which student represents the number 532 correctly? All right, so let's take a peek at what Dale had. Dale had 4 hundreds, which is 400. He had 12 tens, so that's 12 times 10. That's 120. And then he had 12 ones. That's 12. So we add that together and see what we get. We have 400 plus 100 is 500. 500 plus 20 is 520. And 520 plus 12, that is 532. Is that the same thing as this? Yes, so we know that Dale definitely had 532. Let's do some more of these just to make sure that they're not correct. So 500s is 5 times 100, that's 500. Plus 110, that's 10. Then plus 32 ones. Let's see what that equals. So 500 plus 10 is 510. 510 plus 30 is 540. And plus 2 more, that's 542. Is that the same thing as this? No. Alright, Melissa had 400, so that's 400. 11 10, so that's 11 times 10, that's 110. And 32 ones. Let's see what that equals. 400 plus 100 is 500. 500 plus 10 is 510. 510 plus 30 is 540. Plus 2 more is 542. That one's not right either. It had 10 too many. And then let's look at this one. Norm had 500, so that's 500. 3 10s, that's 30. And 12 ones. So 500 plus 30 is 530. Plus 10 more is 540. Plus 2 more is 542. So the only one that got 532 was Dale. So the correct answer for number 3 is A. Okay, and let's look at number 4. Which 2? So guess how many answers you're supposed to have for number 4? 2. Which 2 comparisons are correct? Alright, so we got 349 is greater than whatever this number equals. So 2 hundreds is 200. 13 tens is 130. And 19 ones is 19. So 200 plus 100 is 300. 300 plus 30 is 330. 330 plus 10 more is 340. And plus 9 more is 349. So this says that 349 is greater than 349. Is that true? No. Because those numbers are equal. Let's go to letter B. 340. All right, is equal to whatever this equals. So 3 times 100 is 300. Plus 40 times 10, that's 400. And 300 plus 400 is 700. And it says that that's equal to 340. Are those two numbers the same? Are they equivalent? No. Let's go to C. C says 412 is less than, it's smaller than whatever this is. So 300s is 300. Plus 10 tenths, that's 10 times 10, 100. Plus 2 ones. 300 plus 100 is 400, plus 2 more is 402. And it is saying that 412 is less than 402. Is that true? No. Let's go to D. 470 is equal to whatever this equals. So let's see. 4 times 100 is 400. Plus 7 times 10 is 70. And 400 plus 70 is 470. And is that equal to 470? Yes. Now, if you stopped right there and just circled D and went on to question 5, then you have gotten the problem wrong. Because it says you've got to have 2 answers. So let's look at letter D. We have 488 is smaller or less than whatever this equals. So 300s is 300. Plus 18 tens is 180, and plus 18 ones. So 300 plus 100 is 400. 400 plus 80 is 480. 480 plus 10 more is 490. Plus 8 more is 498. And it says that 488 is smaller or less than 498. Is that true? Yes, that is true. So for question 4, the answers are D and E. All right, and let's go on to problem number 5. So question number 5 says, Emily and Allie recorded the animal shelter fundraiser sales in a table. They were asked by the animal shelter manager to estimate each week's totals to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so they're taking each of these weeks in the sales and they are estimating it to the nearest 1,000. All right, So let's look at 11,967, and we're going to estimate or round it to the nearest thousand. Well, I see this one's in the thousands, but the 9 is right there, and that's bigger. So I know that estimates to 12,000 because the 9 tells this one in the thousands place to go up 1. Okay, let's do that for week 2. We have a 2 in the thousands place and a 7 in the hundreds place to help us. That 7 tells the 2 to go up 1. So that goes up to 13,000. Week 3, we have 13,176. The 3's in the thousands, the 1 is in the hundreds. That 1 tells the 3 to stay the same. So that rounds to 13,000. We have 2 that are the same. Week 4, we have 14,235. So the 4's in the thousands, the 2's in the hundreds. That 2 tells the 4 to stay the same. So that is 14,000. And then week 5, we have 14,756. The 4's in the thousands, the 7's in the hundreds. The 7 tells the 4 to go up 1 more. So that becomes 15,000. So let's look at the question. After Emily and Allie estimated each week's fundraiser sales to the nearest thousand, which 2 weeks had the same estimate? We can go back up here in this table and see which 2 weeks had the same number. And we see that it was week 2 and week 3. So we want to find that down here, and that is letter B, week 2 and 3. So the correct answer for number 5 is B. Now, after you finish checking this, please go and put your paper in the completed work basket.